What is going on, everyone? My name is Andy. Welcome back to another FPL video, and today we're talking chip strategy, specifically my chip strategy. So I've not really talked about my team so far this week. I've done two videos on the free hit, one on the wildcard, but I've not talked about my chip strategy. Now, I'm going to do my team selection video next week on Monday, so just before the deadline on Tuesday, because I'm hoping by then I would have decided what I'm doing, and also would have had the FA Cup matches and stuff like that as well. So perhaps there's new injuries, new COVID outbreaks, or whatever it might be that might play into my thinking exactly what to do. Right now, there's kind of things up in the air like Southampton versus Shrewsbury in the FA Cup. Will it go ahead? If it doesn't, then what happens then? You know, there's some talk from people that are looking at all the fixtures and where they can be placed that Leeds versus Southampton potentially could be put into Game Week 18. It seems like that's a very kind of outside chance thing to happen. But if it did, it would massively affect what I'm doing, right? So right now I'm looking at where I am at this point in time. I will say before you get any further into the video, it's just going to be me tinkering with my team and talking through as I go what my kind of thoughts are on wildcard free hit or not using either chip for my team as it stands right now and the reasons to kind of do that or not. So you're going to have to follow through as you go. So hopefully you like this kind of video. I'm just going to do like a kind of one take thing. And just go from there. So give it a like if you enjoy it. Hit subscribe if you're new around here. And I've slightly altered the screens that I'm on just to make it easier for me to tinker and kind of keep you along really, so you can see what's happening. So this is my team as it stands right now. So I've made two free transfers. I've made two transfers for a -4 so far in order to catch a couple of price rises. Now, the two transfers I've done, as you'll see, there's no Liverpool players in my squad. So I've taken out Salah, and I've taken out Robertson, and I've put in Kevin De Bruyne, and I've put in Cancelo, right? You know me now, Kevin De Bruyne is going to be my captain in Game Week 18 regardless. He's probably going to be my captain in Game Week 19. He's probably going to be my captain in Game Week 20 as well. So he is a key player for my team. But the point is, of course, if I wildcard or if I free hit, then it will reset the transfers that I've done anyway. So not reset, but like if I free hit, I'll get Salah and Robertson back in 19. And if I wildcard, then I've made use of the price rises anyway. And any players that I want to get back in, I can do. But obviously, only the free hit would I get back the value that I've lost by selling Salah. Now, he might come down in price, but I could have sold him for... I did sell him for 12.4, and he can be brought back for 12.6. If he drops, obviously, it'll cost me less to get him back. Robertson's a little bit different, so I don't know if he's going to drop in price. But I've made those two free transfers. If I free hit, then I'd want those two in anyway. And if I wildcard, I want those two in anyway. And even if I don't, arguably, it's still a good move. So as it stands right now, for a -4, this is how my team looks for Game Week 18. Now, obviously I would play Mitchell. The reason I've put in all those Leeds boys is because if they play, then I'm looking absolutely fine this week. I'd have Leeds versus Southampton. I'd have 11 players, one on the bench. Absolutely, I would not use a chip if Leeds gets moved. But realistically, I can't be sure that's going to happen. And if it doesn't, I need to think now before Tuesday about what I might do. So let's just put Mitchell back in. So that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players, right, for one hit. So I could take a few more hits, but I probably wouldn't because the players I'd be able to get in, realistically, I'd have to take Kane out to do anything meaningful. And I don't see the point in taking him out and doing another hit. So then we're talking about -12s. And I just don't think that's worth it. Now, if I think about the free hit team that I would create, I would have triple Man City. On a free hit, I'd probably have Sterling, but it could be double defence. I'd have a Man United defender in or an Arsenal defender in instead of Reguilon. Like, I think the key thing for me and my team is I'm looking to free hit. If I was free hitting, I'd probably look to mostly avoid the Spurs versus Villa game. I'd probably have one of Son or Kane, but that's about it. Whereas in this team, I've got 2 Spurs, Kane and Reguilon. I've also got 2 Villa in Grealish and Martinez. So I've got 4 players out of my 9 from a match that I would prefer to kind of ignore because I just think it'll be low scoring. I think on a free hit, it's more interesting to go Man United, Man City, Arsenal, etc. So that's one thing that's playing on my mind. But I can get through with 9 players, including Calvert-Lewin, who we've all written off, but there's no reason he can't start scoring again, especially if Rodriguez is back and they start creating some more chances. And realistically, in attack, who would I have? Saka? Okay, fine, but I definitely wouldn't want him longer term. Not because he's a bad player, but just because he doesn't fit in with my structure. A punt on Aubameyang or Sterling, but okay, fair enough. That's just a 1 week thing. And I'd have my free hit to make punts in another week, of course, as well, down the line. Man United defender, fair enough. Arsenal defender, but again, I wouldn't want them long term. No double game weeks or anything like that. So probably wouldn't go there. So actually, maybe this is just me talking myself into it, but the team's okay. Maybe I'm missing Son, whoever it might be, but the team's okay. I've got the two key captains covered, De Bruyne and Fernandes. I don't see many people captaining players outside of that, apart from maybe Kane or Son, and I've got one of those anyway. So I've got three big hitters. I've got Calvert-Lewin and Grealish, who have been good this year. Okay, granted, recently Calvert-Lewin in particular hasn't scored since game week 11, I think, so he's not been great. And obviously Mitchell and Reguilon in defence is not ideal, but 9 players is pretty decent, right? And then if I didn't use the free hit or the wild card, then obviously this would be my team for game week 19 as well. So without a hit, I could put in Dallas because he's got the double game week. I'd take out Reguilon. I'd take out Souček as well. Sorry, yeah, Souček would come in. Where is he? So Souček would come in for Calvert-Lewin probably. And this would be my team for game week 19. So Martinez, double game week. Cancelo, Dallas, Sofal, all got double game weeks. Grealish, Rafinha, De Bruyne, Fernandes and Souček, all got double game weeks. And then Kane and Bamford. Now, what I would probably do is get Salah back in. So if you can imagine that Kane and Souček are Antonio, so still got West Ham attacker in there. And by the way, I think Haller is being sold from West Ham. So West Ham must be signing another striker. There is no way they're going to go through with Antonio being the only fit striker. There's talks of Arnautovic coming back, but without getting into that too much, right? This could be Chris Wood, it could be Watkins, whoever, right? Basically a cheap striker, and Souček can become Salah. So I'll just show you on the transfer page. Make sure you can see it. So Kane and Souček, and I know people prefer Souček to Rafinha. I don't. So I'll just get that out there now. Yes, I wouldn't mind having Souček, but this is my best way to get Salah back. And then I'd have Antonio in. So then potentially, I could go into the double game week with Martinez, double, Dallas, Cancelo, Sofal, doubles, my whole 5 midfielders with double game weeks, and Bamford and Antonio. That's 11 double game week players, and all it's taken me is one hit in game week 18. Granted, I'd only have 9 players, and one hit in game week 19. And that would give me 11 players, no bench boost. I could triple captain De Bruyne, and I still have my wild card and my free hit available. And by the way, I could bench boost that team as well because Johnson's got a double game week, so I made that move in 17. Calvert-Lewin, Reguilon, and Mitchell. Okay, Mitchell definitely doesn't have an ideal double game week because it's against Man City, but Calvert-Lewin against Villa and Reguilon against Sheffield United. As single game week players go, I could bench boost that if I wanted, but the triple captain option's there, and I could wildcard into a bench boost later and keep my free hit if I needed it for game week 29. And if I didn't, that free hit would just be used whenever I needed it. It could even be a final day punt. I'm not actively looking to have to use it. Okay, yes, I could use it now for game week 18 and just go back in. Obviously, if I use it in game week 18, I know this is going to be a pain to follow. I wouldn't have De Bruyne and Cancelo. I'd have Salah and Robertson, which isn't the worst thing, but the only way to get a Man City defender is to get rid of a Liverpool one. So that's the move I've made because of game week 18, but we'll come back to that in a minute. So I could potentially have 11 double game week players for one hit in 18 and one hit in 19, and basically keep all my chips. And that is tempting, right? And there's reasons to do that because right now there's been 4 postponements for the whole season, but 3 of them have come in the last couple of weeks. We've seen cases rising pretty much across the world, I think, or at least in Europe, right? I think Germany was rising. I might have this wrong. I don't want this to get into like a COVID video, but I think cases have been rising in Germany. They definitely have in Ireland, and they definitely have in the UK. So my worry is, will there be more postponements? And this is why I'm going to wait until late on Tuesday to actually decide on what I'm doing. And this is arguably the safer play, right? But it's not that exciting, and I will want Man City players and possibly Man United players after the double. But who am I missing, right? This is what I would look at. Who am I missing from my game week 19 side who a lot of the other people will have? One is definitely double Man City defence, right? Now, I could get that. I could take an additional hit, take a -8 and do Reguilon to Diaz or Reguilon to Stones, whatever I want to do if I want to take some money out. So that's an option. I could just change one of the double game week players, Dallas or Sofal, to Stones etc. And just keep Reguilon for now. But Spurs fixtures aren't great, so I'm not bothered about that. So I could take an additional hit. I'm obviously missing Robertson, but I've made a conscious choice to go for Man City instead, because I think longer term, at least for now, I'm not saying never to a Liverpool defender, but right now I think a Man City one is better. Cancelo on his own is a little bit of a risk, I think. I think if I've got Cancelo, I do prefer to have 2 Man City defenders. And I could make that move in Game Week 18 and just take the additional hit there. But I don't think I necessarily would. So one is Man City defender, another one's Liverpool defender. Outside of that, who am I really missing? Right? Yes, there's more perfect wildcard teams I could have. Rashford, for example. Antonio, will he play 2 games? That's a little bit of a risk, but I could have Watkins instead if I wanted to. I can't obviously go to Rodrigo because I've got triple leads. But I'm not missing too many players, I don't think. Like, if we go down to the fixtures, Game Week 19. Chelsea defender, of course, would be nice. So I think Chelsea defender, Liverpool defender, Vardy and Ings, of course, but I think they're kind of luxury for the position that I'm in right now. I don't think I can easily get them and be happy with my team. I could just do Kane to Vardy, but that doesn't let me have Salah. And going into a double game without Salah is just not something that I want to do. So, yeah, that's the team. The wildcard team, right? So this is my team as it stands for Game Week 19 with 1 hit. The wildcard team wouldn't be massively different to this. The only real difference is Calvert-Lewin would be Watkins. And I think as I'm doing this, I'm probably going to talk myself out of the wildcard. Calvert-Lewin would be Watkins. Reguilon would be Stones. I wouldn't be able to afford Diaz. So I put Stones in here. I'd probably keep the same goalkeepers, by the way. And then Dallas and Mitchell would be, who is it? Man United, Wan-Bissaka. So it gives me an extra player in the blank Game Week 18. And then the last one is, this is probably we're doing it live, Chilwell. Okay, so hopefully Chilwell and Salah will go down in price. Now there's 0.5 missing. Oh yeah, okay. That's because if I wildcard, I'd have to get Rodrigo. That's fine. So let me just put him in. If I want Salah back, I could go without. So this would be the team for Game Week 19. So let me put that there. Ignore the points hits for now. So the main difference is I would be able to bench boost for a start. And I also wouldn't have to use my free hit in Game Week 18, although I don't necessarily have to use it anyway. And I'd have Watkins and Rodrigo instead of not bench boosted and having Antonio. Antonio is arguably better than both of them if he gets good minutes. And I do think it's ramping up to potentially having good minutes. He's played 15 minutes, then 30. I reckon he plays in the FA Cup and then potentially starts both games in the double. But I don't think he's going to play 90 minutes in both games. So that's something to consider. But I would have my double City defence. But for an additional hit, I can just get that anyway. And I can get Diaz. So I think the wild card has merits. But with everything going on with COVID and stuff, and the fact that I can get a pretty decent team out anyway, I wonder if it's worth saving it. And that's basically, if I just check that you can see all this on screen, that's basically where I am with my chip strategy right now. I will say, I think the free hit is not going to be a thing for me. I think the free hit is probably the least likely thing that I'm going to do. It's wildcarding to this team, or it's going into Game Week 18, if you can see that, with this team. So going into Game Week 18, Mitchell in instead of Dallas. I should just save that. And that's it. Going in with that team and then getting Salah back for Game Week 19. Salah's probably not going to rise in price before Game Week 19, and by the time 18 finishes and 19 starts, the gap is 1 day. So I'm not going to get priced out of any moves I want to make in Game Week 19. And I think most people would say this is probably the safer play. You keep all your chips in hand, apart from triple captain, but whatever, you can use that in any game week anyway. And I think, by the way, Game Week 19 triple captain looks great. Whether it's Salah, Fernandes, or De Bruyne, I think it's a good time to use it. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm getting my thoughts out loud, right? And I think I definitely want to say I am not trying to talk myself out of it or talk anyone else into a chip. I've made that wildcard video because I've given it a lot of thought, and there's a lot of merits to doing it. You can get your bench boost. You can plan for future game weeks up until game week 23, 24. And then obviously you've got transfers along the way. I keep seeing people writing it off because that's expected everything to go right. Of course, everything's not going to go right. You can use transfers. But if you could save the wildcard and still get through it, then maybe you should. And I said all along, I didn't want to change my strategy just to bench boost for no reason. If I had another way of going, I would just save the bench boost. And I feel like maybe I do. But all it's going to take is a couple more fixture rearrangements or some more injuries in the FA Cup, or some injuries in the FA Cup, and I think maybe I would come round to hitting the wildcard button. But there is obviously some uncertainty. The fact that you've got to go 20 weeks without it, which is a worry. Although plenty of people just went from game week 1 to 16 without their wildcard. So you can do it. And obviously you have got transfers along the way. And I still think having the free hit in hand gives you the option of building towards game week 26, not worrying about 29. Or if 29 is kind to us, you can then free hit in the double game week. So I do think the wildcard has got a lot of merits. And I may still do it because I like the idea of just... And by the way, sorry, one thing I should say, again, problem with doing this kind of live, is obviously it cancels the hits. So I probably need a hit still to get Salah back, but it stops the hit in game week 18, and it gets me a better team. So I would have Rashford, I would have Fernandes, I wouldn't have to have Reguilon in defence, I'd have Wan-Bissaka, Stones and Cancelo, which is pretty nice. So it does, there are other reasons for it. So it saves hits down the line, and also it saves a hit right now in game week 18, and gives me a better team, and gives me an extra player. So I'm not having to play Mitchell, Calvert-Lewin, etc. So I do think there are some merits still to go into the wild card, but I definitely, as things stand, have the option to not do anything. So I'm not trying to draw this out or bring some suspense to this that, oh, you don't know what I'm going to do, I'm going to announce it. It's not like that. I just don't know. There's so much going on right now that for anyone that's not hit a chip yet, I would definitely wait till Tuesday. Right, Monday or Tuesday, let the weekend go, let the FA Cup matches be played, see if there's any fixture rearrangements, and then go from there. So that's where I'm at right now. I don't know if that was useful, but sometimes it's useful for me to speak out loud in the video about my thoughts, and hopefully it helps you with your thinking and your plan. It's fine to go for 7 to 9 players in game week 18, as long as you've got the ones you're happy with. And Kane, De Bruyne and Fernandes is probably fine for me, and I can get Salah back as well. So if you've enjoyed the video, please do give it a like, hit subscribe if you're new around here. I'll just do the Patreon shout out, so I keep looking over here to make sure I got the right screen up. So big shout out to everyone that's already signed up to Patreon. We do have a couple of new people who have signed up since last time. If you want to check it out, there's a link in the description below. But shout out to Gus M, Kevin F and Ricky G, who have all signed up since last time. So I'll put this screen up. Thank you for watching. Thanks for signing up to Patreon. Link below if you want to check it out. We've got over 200 members now, so if you want to check it out as well, all the perks and stuff, link in the description below. I don't know when I'm next going to be back for a video now. I'm not going to stream tonight. I think I might do the preview at some point over the weekend. Team selection on Monday when I finally know what I'm doing. And then Tuesday, captaincy and deadline stream. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hopefully you enjoyed me rambling on today. If you didn't, well, I'm sorry. That's just what I do sometimes. And I'll catch you soon for another video.